This week on The Splash, we see how the township prepares for elections. Then we take a look at an art show. And later, we learn what it takes to be safe on our lakes. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Welcome to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin, and as always, thank you for joining us. Voting is a privilege and a responsibility, but how does the township prepare for an upcoming election? We sent reporter Tyler Kieft to find out more.
With election season right around the corner, West Bloomfield Township is gathering its election officials for training sessions to make sure that every vote counts. West Bloomfield has about 200 election workers who run the township's 25 election precincts. In the weeks leading up to the election, the clerk's office has invited these officials to familiarize themselves with the voting technology and prepare them for the upcoming elections.
We train them in different groups because they have different roles in the election process. So we will train the people who are poll workers or election inspectors. We have separate training for people who will be working the EPB or the electronic poll book. And then we have training for people who will be the chairperson or co-chairpersons of their precinct. And we also have a training for the absent voter counting board group. The people who work the elections are well trained, and the reason that we train the chairperson separately is they're the problem solvers. If we overwhelm the election inspectors with information that is beyond what they're likely to encounter in the field, they get frustrated. And we try to keep the training such that they know what they need to know. And the chairpersons are the ones who need to know everything, because if there's something that's an anomaly or unusual or different, they have the chair people to go to. So we train them to have, to go to the chair people first, and the chairpersons also know if they encounter something that's unusual for them, they call the clerk's office. We're kind of in the clerk's office command central on election day.
The clerk's office has made a strong effort to train the election officials with the goal of keeping your votes safe and accurate at the polls.
The state does require that they're trained every other year. We encourage them to come, often, because it's not a skill that you're using on a daily basis. And this year it became critically important because we have all new election equipment throughout the state. So we were training them for a process that was more or less the same, but new equipment. And when you haven't seen that process for a while and you see new equipment, it's a little intimidating.
Our country and our community rely on sound election protocols to maintain the integrity of each and every vote. And West Bloomfield Township and its election workers are taking the important task of monitoring the polls very seriously.
Our residents expect us to run solid elections. They expect security. They expect availability. They expect us to follow through on things that matter. They want their vote to count. So we do everything we can to make sure it does on the clerk's end. Part of that is making sure that the people we have in the field representing the clerk's office that are trained well enough to either be able to answer their question or refer them to somebody who can. It's a big operation, and we make sure that that the residents' needs are met.
With the training sessions near complete, West Bloomfield Township's election officials are well prepared to keep you at ease at the polls and your votes safe and secure. From the Civic Center Plaza in West Bloomfield Township, I'm Tyler Kieft, reporting for The Splash.
To find out more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/election training. Bringing quality artists into our township is something to be proud of. At this year's Fine Arts Show, the artists and organizers outdid themselves. Our reporter Allison Nicholson reflects on the event.
Over the past 16 summers, the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show has grown into one of the great summer traditions in greater West Bloomfield. After holding the event at West Bloomfield High School in 2017, the art show returned to its traditional location on Powers and Daly Road. The opening of the Orchard Lake Boulevard reopened the heart of the township to the great art, food, and entertainment that the art show is known for in our community, and attracted greater West Bloomfield citizens and visitors from around the world to enjoy a taste of great American art and a taste of West Bloomfield. The 16th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show brought the traditional summer festival back to the heart of the township and showed that the improvements made in the town center district have not only improved the flow of traffic, but invited people from all over the state and the country to enjoy a piece of summer in greater West Bloomfield. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Allison Nicholson.
For more information about this year's Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, feel free to stop by our website at civiccentertv.com/OLFAS2018. Still to come, we learn about boater safety, and then we take a look at a new episode of Sidewalk Talk.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. Going out for a weekend of fun on our local lakes is not as easy as it seems. Quite a bit goes into making sure safety measures are followed. I stopped by Keego Harbor's boater safety course to find out more. When it comes to enjoying summer in Michigan, getting out on the water is an important part of that for many families in our township. Officer Gene Shea is known for his expertise on boating safety.
We're here today to promote safety in the waters and to teach everyone that's interested in the lifestyle of boating in our inland lakes in Oakland County to enjoy the recreational fun times boating with their family and their friends.
Whether or not you own a boat or simply are able to get out on the water, it helps everyone have a safe and positive experience when the rules are known and followed.
Well, because we have so many boaters and registered boaters in this area, we have always say it's also good to know the common courtesies among boaters and people who's enjoying the water. And we want to make sure they understand all the rules and regulations. So safety, have all the equipment, they can help each other out, and knowing that, we're having fun out there. On an average weekend, we'll probably get about anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 individuals on Cass Lake.
Our community is known for its focus on family time and getting together with those you care about. Boating is a great way to get outside and connect with the special people in your life.
The generation nowadays that where everybody likes, and their younger kids like to stay home and be in front of the TV. We love promoting the outdoor activities so we can get the families together and having their, the younger ones to go out there and enjoy it with them.
Being part of our growing community means doing our part to keep everyone's summer fun experience as safe as we can. For more information on the boater safety course, you can visit civiccentertv.com/boater safety. Now it's time for another episode of Sidewalk Talk, where Samana Sheik spoke to greater West Bloomfield residents to find out their thoughts on a new topic.
For some odd reason, I always lose my pet bird. West Bloomfield, what item do you often lose?
My phone or coffee cup. I leave coffee cups everywhere, and I'm always looking and grabbing a new cup of coffee somewhere.
Probably my keys for the car.
You know what I realized with myself? If you get one of those keychain things, those help.
Or if you put them in the same place every time you go in the home or the office, that helps too.
Well, I'm a man, so I'd have to say it's my wallet. I'm not sure if it's because my wife tends to find her way into it, but I usually have trouble finding it.
I lose my boat keys.
Boat keys, really? How?
A little too much Corona on the beach.
Do I lose the most often? Definitely with my keys, without a doubt. Why I can't keep track of it? Because I just randomly put them down anywhere that I am. Everything else, my phone, I've now learned to keep it with me at all times because it's like important information on there. My keys don't really give me anything but driving my car, so I will randomly put them down anywhere and cannot find them.
That's a toss-up. I'd say it's between the cell phone and the car keys because I lose track of them when I walk in the front door, and I leave my phone on vibrate all the time and someone needs to call it, but yet it doesn't ring, so you got to listen, turn the TV off and listen for everything. So cell phone is probably the most troublesome for me.
So what item of yours do you lose the most often, and why can't you keep track of it?
I lose my chapstick a lot. It's really important to me to have it all the time, and I don't know. I guess I don't really carry a purse very often, so I like either put it in my shirt pocket or something, so I'm always losing track of it.
My wallet, because it always falls out of my pocket when I'm laying down or something, and it just slides out and I forget about it.
That's really not good.
No, I know.
My husband. I lose my husband all the time. We go places, we're talking, I turn around and he's gone. I lose my husband all the time.
So how do you find him?
I call him on the cell phone, ask him where he's at.
See you again next week on another episode of Sidewalk Talk.
If you'd like to see some of our other fun and interesting questions on the show, you can do so anytime and anywhere by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/sidewalktalk. And now it's time for our Civic Center event update, where we provide you with all the latest that's happening around Greater West Bloomfield. And if you'd like to stay up to date on all of the following current events yourself, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. Let's get started. It's time again for Henry's Market on Main, running now until November 14th at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Anyone can participate in Henry's Market on Main, a great way to buy fresh, locally grown produce and other products. From 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. on Wednesdays, you can stop by to purchase fresh and healthy food, including baked goods, herbs, and more, as well as flowers and seedlings. Food samples will be available, as well as the hospital's specially invited chefs being on hand to demonstrate how to prepare healthy meals. This recurring event is free. For more information, contact Kelsey Bray at 248-325-0825. Knowing what to do if someone you know is considering or speaking of self-harm is vital to keeping our community safe and trained to handle these challenging situations. Jewish Family Service is offering a free training session on Thursday, August 2nd from 8:45 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. called Safe Talk Suicide Prevention Training. No prior experience is needed, and this free training is open to anyone over age 15. You will walk away equipped to identify signs of suicide or self-harm and will learn to apply the talk steps. Tell, ask, listen, and keep safe. For more information, you can contact Chevy Zigden at 248-406-0076. On August 2nd at 10 and again at 11 a.m., kickstart your child's learning and encourage a love of reading while joining the West Bloomfield Library for a language-rich story time at Tot Spot. This creative story time combines stories, finger plays, music, and movement. Active toddlers can learn while they play. These amazing hands-on activities can develop math, cognitive, social, sensory, gross motor, and early language and literacy skills in toddler-age children. This event is recommended for ages 1 to 3 years old. For more information, visit wblib.org. On August 4th from 10 a.m. until noon, a fun-filled opportunity for you and your kids is coming up called Oodles of Noodles. Taking place at the Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital Demonstration Kitchen, this informative session will get kids excited about cooking wholesome, healthy meals. Eating healthy food doesn't have to be boring or too difficult for kids to handle, and the experts in the demonstration kitchen will ensure your child learns how to cook in a creative and safe way. Cost for this session is $25 per child, and registration is required. For more information, you can contact Kelsey Bray at 248-325-3890. Saturday Morning Live is an ongoing opportunity for kids up to 5 years old to get a head start on learning with a fun twist. Happening now through August 25th on Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. Bring your child to this high-energy event. Your child will benefit from amazing stories, songs, and interactive group activities, including an introduction to early STEM skills. This event is free and no registration is required. If you'd like to find out more information, you can call the library at 248-232-2250. Have you ever been curious about the many uses of duct tape? If so, stop by the West Bloomfield Public Library on August 9th from 1 to 2 p.m. or from 2 to 3 p.m. to learn the countless ways that you can turn duct tape into a creative outlet to make crafts and fun surprises. This event is for kids in kindergarten up to 5th grade. While this event is free, registration is required. For more information or to register for one of the time slots that are available, you can contact the library at 248-232-2250. If you or someone in your family has old or unused prescription medication stored or forgotten about in your home, then you could benefit from taking part in Operation Medicine Cabinet, an ongoing initiative supported by the West Bloomfield Police Department. All you have to do is gather your outdated or excess prescription medication and bring it to the West Bloomfield Police Station anytime during the day or night and deposit it anonymously into the secure receptacle in the lobby. Keeping medication that has been prescribed long past its necessity or expiration date is dangerous for both you and those who may have access to it. For more information, visit civiccentertv.com/Operation Medicine Cabinet. And that's all for now. However, if you're looking to find even more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar. Or watch us here for more information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. As we head into the break, stay tuned because afterwards I'll be talking with Officer Timothy Shepard of the West Bloomfield Police Department and host of West Bloomfield 911.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Sheena Monnin, and here with me on the show this week is Officer Timothy Shepard of the West Bloomfield Police Department and host of West Bloomfield 911. Thank you for being here with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Sheena. Thank you very much for having me.
Now, I'm going to learn all kinds of new and interesting information because you are part of the Crime Prevention Unit here in West Bloomfield. Now, most of us probably aren't too familiar with that. Can you tell us what that is?
Absolutely. Well, you may think crime prevention and think automatically that police are all crime prevention people.
Yeah.
And we are. So I think in general, all the officers are there for crime prevention. And with most departments these days, there's a specific unit called Crime Prevention Unit. And I'm in that unit for the West Bloomfield Police Department. I've been in the unit now approximately 6 months, so it's fairly new for me. And the position itself is essentially a community liaison position that incorporates getting to know the community on a different level, not necessarily arresting people, but going out and trying to make crime less in the community.
Okay, great. So basically they want to have a point person, like, okay, for businesses, etc., this is the person to work with. Awesome. That makes a lot of sense, for sure. Yeah. What kinds of programs or things do you do to help prevent crime for businesses, schools, etc.?
Sure. So with this position, it's a certified position, so I go and take classes, and I learn how to deal with a variety of different topics that help the businesses or citizens or schools. There's many programs involved, and I'll start out by saying these. One of the things going on right now in the world is crime prevention through environmental design.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's called CEPTED is
Okay.
what is the acronym, and what it is it's essentially taking the design of a building or the
area surrounding the building.
the environment, and using that as a way to reinforce safety within that specific area. So what I mean by that is there's things we can do to protect ourselves that people may or may not know. And this can be for businesses or for residential. And some of those things are, for example, having your trees trimmed up to a certain height so you can see underneath the trees.
Yeah.
So you can see people not hiding. Having your bushes trimmed down to a certain level so people can't hide in there. Having lighting in the environment, more lighting. And so that's just one area of crime prevention that we're trained in. And so what's going on now, what I do essentially on my day-to-day travels in business is I have a new program called Business Watch.
Okay.
Okay, and so what Business Watch is I go to all the businesses that I can reach out to, which is hopefully all of them, and I try to get them onto a mailing list, okay, an email list.
Okay.
And so I try to communicate with all the businesses, and they're going to communicate with each other through this email list. Okay, so say, for example, there's a crime that happens somewhere in West Bloomfield Township, and say, for example, it's a larceny from a vehicle. Someone broke into a car and stole something. Okay, so that obviously goes into our records at work, and that's documented. Now, other businesses may not know what's happening. They may not know there's a rash of these going on. Or to be on the lookout for that kind of situation in their own parking lots. And so what this Business Watch group will do is we'll communicate with each other. So essentially it's a communication avenue for businesses and the police department to work together.
They directly know that something has happened instead of, I have to go find out at this website or call here or whatever. That's amazing.
Yeah, because they may not know. For example, say there's counterfeit money in the environment, right? So say a business has got a bunch of 20s that were counterfeit. Okay, so that business will know, obviously, but every other business may not know.
Yeah.
So then they can be on the lookout for these kind of crimes, and it'll not only protect them, but it's a communication line for all of us, including the citizens. Now, the citizens aren't involved in this list, but eventually we may have a list where people can get that information as well. And there's Nixle and things like that that are out there.
That's great. Wonderful. Tell me a little bit about Alice. What is Alice?
So Alice is a program that's, I'll start with this. Today in the environment of schools, businesses, there's active assailants. We call them active assailants, but it could be an active shooter. It could be someone that goes into a business or a school and then tries to inflict mass casualties, or not necessarily only a mass casualty, but just try to hurt the people they work with or go to school with. So in the old days, excuse me, in the old days, the idea was to go into a room and lock down, be quiet, and hide. And which that is still part of this Alice program, but the government and private businesses have come up with a new program called Alice. It's an acronym, and it's Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. And so we in West Bloomfield have endorsed this in terms of we're starting to use this and teach this. So we have multiple officers, including myself, who are certified Alice instructors. We go to, right now it's primarily schools, so we're going to deal with the West Bloomfield School District, and we're going to teach the schools how to handle these situations.
And then hopefully through this knowledge be able to prevent further damage from happening. That's really admirable. I love that. So real quick, you also have something else exciting that's happening. You are hosting our West Bloomfield 911 show. Tell us a little bit, just real quick, about how cool it is to have people come on the show and how important it is for the community to be able to get to know officers such as yourselves and understand a little bit about what's happening around here.
Thanks for bringing that up. I'm a police officer, and you can tell probably that I'm not trained in TV just by our interview here, but we do have the program. It's through the community. It's West Bloomfield 911. We bring on people with a variety of different backgrounds to try to get the citizens of West Bloomfield to see all the things going on. Some of those are police related, some of those are business related, some of them are just going ons in the community, and it's been interesting transition for me as a police officer into that environment.
Good. Well, you're doing a great job, and we love the show, and thank you so much for being here today to talk about crime prevention. It is an extremely important topic.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Once again, everyone, we've been speaking with Officer Timothy Shepard of the West Bloomfield Police Department and host of West Bloomfield 911. Now let's head over to another of our recurring segments called Minute with Nature, with West Bloomfield Park's naturalist Lauren Azuri has a new tip to share with us.
Hello and welcome to Minute with Nature. I'm your host, Lauren Azuri, the park naturalist for West Bloomfield Parks. And we're inside the nature room today talking about environmental stewardship, or how to be a good environmental steward of our land. Well, what is stewardship? It really just means the job of supervising or taking care of something. But because we're talking about environmental stewardship, we're talking about taking care of the earth. Have you ever heard of Aldo Leopold? He's a really famous person who is an environmental steward, and he actually championed the concept of environmental stewardship. And he defines it as dealing with man's relation to the land and to the animals and to the plants which grow upon it. So environmental stewardship really encompasses all of the earth, the plants, the animals, and the land, as Aldo Leopold tells us. So how can you be a good environmental steward? One of them is planting native plants. Native plants are beneficial to our ecosystem and all the animals that live here. So if you're going to plant a garden, think about trying to plant natives. Make sure you're using less fertilizer and less pesticides, or none at all if possible, because that does affect our environment negatively. You can also contact resource managers, like some of our West Bloomfield Park staff, for ideas on how to manage your property in order to make it more ecological friendly and more open to the environment and choices that can help animals. A good resource for managing invasive species would be our Oakland County SISMA. If you have invasive species on your property, it's best to remove them. Invasive species don't belong here, they didn't originally grow here, and they have no ecological value. So plants and animals here cannot use invasive species. So the best thing to do is remove invasive species and make room for new native species that have more ecological value and will bring better plants and animals to your yard. Oakland County SISMA can help you do that, and they have great resources for you. If you contact the Oakland County SISMA, they can give you in touch with good contractors that are trained in this kind of management practices, as well as if it's a smaller scale and you can handle it on your own, the best way to do that as well. You can also volunteer for our park cleanup event or a garlic mustard pull. And then, of course, all the other choices that you make on a daily basis that can help you be a better environmental steward. By recycling and reducing the waste, all of those are great ways to be an environmental steward. And that's your Minute with Nature.
For more episodes of Minute with Nature, visit civiccentertv.com/MWN. Now it's time for our final segment on The Splash called Person of the Week, where we recognize those within the community who are either inspiring or providing toward others. And this week's recipients are Amelie and Oliver Strickfaden, 2018 Woodland Coronation Prince and Princess of the Forest. Most children Amelie and Oliver's age spend their time thinking about their homework, their friends, and the next game they're going to play. Rarely do we see two kids, especially an 8- and a 10-year-old, who are so committed to a cause greater than themselves. Amelie and Oliver are truly stewards of the environment. Amelie's love of coyotes, Oliver's love of owls, and their mutual appreciation for nature and our local environment are clear in what they do every single day. As this year's Prince and Princess of the Forest at Tree Runner Adventure Park in West Bloomfield, these siblings are a clear example of how the passion of our young people will impact our world for years to come. The Strickfadens believe that it is the duty of all of us to protect the environment, replace what we take out of it, and leave the world as clean and beautiful as we found it. With their love for the forest, the animals, and everything in between, Amelie and Oliver Strickfaden are sure to continue to make a difference in our environment for years to come, which is why they are our Persons of the Week. If you happen to know someone who is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to The Splash at civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate all of your suggestions. That's going to do it for us this week, but remember, you can watch new episodes of The Splash every Monday at 5:30 p.m. or throughout the week for replays. You can also watch every episode online at civiccentertv.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook under Civic Center TV 15, YouTube at Civic Center TV 15, and on Twitter at Civic Center TV for more information. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Sheena Monnin. Thank you for watching The Splash.